Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sales English course by Inglés Superior. I'm Ben English and this is Refunds and Complaints. So sometimes you need to change what you're offering, something's happened, lots of situations where your customer or your client has come in for one thing, but then something has happened and an interrupted plan, perhaps you could say. Probably the most common one is that I need to change my ticket, please. So that would be a change of schedules. It's not asking for a refund, it's just a simple change. Okay, so you're giving them, you'll have to let them know whether that's a possibility or not. Uh, Usually, the more flexible the service, then the more you actually charge. So flexibility has a price, and that's why lots of flights, for example, at lower fares don't give you that option to change it because there's a lot of value in having flexibility. So I remember hearing this one a lot as well. I would like to request a change of seat, please. So this one is obviously families want to sit together during train rides, so they might be or plane rides as well, and they might want to change their seat. Now, sometimes formally the system doesn't let that happen, but you could probably reassure them and say, look, what happens when you get on the train or when you get on the plane or whatever, you can probably ask the people on the plane, on the train, if they would be kind enough to move. But you might have to say, well, the system doesn't allow the change, but you could ask the people on the train, on the plane, or wherever you are. Um, in some cases, any changes do incur a fee. That's quite normal. It costs money for the company to change its things, so it's totally reasonable to ask for an administration fee. So you could say something like, oh dear, how inconvenient. I'm afraid any change or refund will incur a 10% administration fee. Is that okay? Okay, you want to let them ask them if that's okay. If they say, yeah, that's fine, totally understand, great. If they say, why does that happen? You simply say, look, we have administration costs and therefore we need to charge this fee in order to change it. However, we will be happy to do so. And then they say, okay, so you're like, okay, the refund or change is being processed. Okay. So the important things to what do you need to do, which is important here? You need to listen to your client with your total attention. Yeah. If they've got a problem, they've got a complaint, then you need to listen to them, really hear them out rather than just waiting for your turn to speak. So listen to your client with total attention. Make sure you're really, really paying attention. Take notes. Note down any details that need to be passed on. And the act of taking notes also shows that you care, right? It's an active listening technique. You're listening to what they're saying. Boom, there was a problem. Boom, that happened at this time. Boom, it happened on this train. You're writing everything down. You're creating your own little report. So you're going to remember the information better. And two, you're actually showing to your client that you're listening to them. And obviously, let them speak. Let them say everything they need to speak until they're finished. Yeah, they might be a little bit frustrated, and they probably will say more than they need to. But let them finish. So sometimes complaints are fine and not too difficult. The issue sometimes comes from the actual customer and how they are reacting, right? So you've got difficult customers. So my tips for that, for dealing with difficult customers, is don't argue with them, even if they're wrong. You just can't get into an argument. You must apologize for the inconvenience caused. However, you don't take personal responsibility. So you apologize and you say, look, I'm sorry you've had to go through this experience. It's not I'm sorry, I'm sorry for ruining your trip. No, because it's not your responsibility. You're just sorry that they are going through this experience. So you're making it a little bit less personalized. You're kind of removing the blame to yourself. You don't want to take the blame because it ultimately wasn't your personal responsibility. And then you need to reassure them and give them confidence that and a feeling of trust that you're resolving any issues. So we're working to resolve this issue. and make sure it never happens again. Something you might want to say. So for any upset customers, they might want to make a formal complaint. Okay, so here we have an electronic book of complaints where you can make a formal complaint. Okay, the key thing is to listen to them, maintain calm and professionalism at all times. Okay, you need to get them back to being kind of normal again. Try and change their mood. It's not going to help if you're not being calm and not being professional yourself. You need to set the example. And that is all for customer complaints and giving refunds. I would be very interested to hear any stories that you have about difficult customers or situations where you've had to give refunds. So if you do, leave those in the comments below, and I'll respond to those, and I'll let you know what I think, or if you want my advice or anything, then that's the place to do it, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, so well done for studying. Keep it up. Good work. See you in the next one.